Hello, guys. Hey, I got another clip on here. I was looking at what's happening in California in Huntington, and I was thinking about California. I've been listening to different podcasts, different media outlets, and I noticed, you know what I mean. This one came across my desk. It was called "The Population That Has Brought to a Standstill in One California City." Years ago, the city used to be predominantly a European city, and people don't really realize that. And I was like, oh wow. So now it's like 95% population of Hispanic. It's basically a Hispanic city, and there's nothing wrong with population and demographics shifting. People changing. But when you start looking at the real numbers, like they got 45% illegal. I mean, I'm sorry, undocumented workers in that area. What that means is basically the American citizen, the Mexican, the Hispanic Americans are living. I would say the way it's set up, off and what they said in this video as we watch it together. They stated that they're basically a lot of their business not coming in because of the what really sustained their business model is the undocumented citizens. DACA and illegal aliens. I gotta say illegal aliens because that's one term. I gotta be fair when I'm doing social media. Um, that is part of a community that's there in the city, and they talk about it. So a lot of the vendors are not getting the numbers they used to get of customers because of the ICE raids that's happening in California. But the point I was looking at, I was like, wow, I thought 95%, I thought they were saying 95% of the citizenship of that city in California is Hispanic. That's 95% of the people that's there are Hispanic. But the numbers that some of the community members have written up said 45% of the population of that city is undocumented, migrant, illegal, all of the points that ICE is there for, and American citizenry voted against. So I'm not making no judgments. I'm just saying what even in this video clip you'll see yourself that the people that talk about these numbers are indicating, and it's causing a major deficit in the vendors that's in the city losing their money and basically making the place like a ghost town. So, so really, my question would be, what is the real population of that area as far as Hispanic citizenship? Let's without further ado, let's go into this video, find out your point. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. But it's amazing. They're taking an in-depth look at this, what's going on in the city through the ICE raids. Without further ado, let's move on.
City essentially comes to a standstill because many of its residents are afraid to be outside. CBS's Adam Yamaguchi takes us to a community in Los Angeles County that's struggling to survive as deportation raids increase.
Huntington Park, California, a working-class community of over 50,000 people, now feels it has a bullseye on its back because of ramped-up ICE raids. It's nearly 96% Latino, and as many as 45% of its residents are undocumented. So how has the community here responded to the ongoing raids?
They're scared.
Jonathan Sanabria sits on the city council. He also grew up here.
We are a target for them because we know that they are stereotyping and they're racially profiling us, and they're targeting folks that look like me.
Sanabria took us along Pacific Boulevard, Huntington Park's main commercial thoroughfare. The once vibrant city center has now become eerily quiet. Jose Lomeli is a longtime resident.
I remember Pacific Boulevard was always packed, but since the raids have been going on, it's a ghost town. I don't even know how these places are surviving.
The councilman showed us how business owners are trying to lure customers back into these stores.
So here's a sign, there's people inside conducting business, but they now have their doors locked. They're saying, hey, knock, so we can open the door, provide the services for you.
ICE agents would need a warrant to enter.
We see stores that are open, but they remain with the gates locked. So this is another way of the stores protecting themselves and their customers from unwanted interactions with ICE.
A woman emerged from behind the gates. She runs this bridal shop.
So, what are you indicating to us that these American businesses inside the United States are working against ICE by luring customers in that are not citizens, undocumented, to keep your business flowing? So, what I'm getting, you're leaning on these instead of helping these people in the community become citizens. You are leaning on them. These businesses are leaning on them to keep their business afloat. That's what I'm kind of indicating from this statement that the councilman made with the journalist and what the other gentleman was saying. It's a ghost town now. These businesses are not getting their customers. We just heard one stat previously on this documentary was stating that 45%, 45% of the people are undocumented. So therefore indicating that 45 to 50%, basically 45% of your business is basically at the minimum is guaranteed. So you're losing basically almost 50% of your business, and depending on what business type of business you have in that community, it might be a higher number for you. So you're actually benefiting off of undocumented workers. If you break it down to that perspective, you're safe, but these people are taking chances to try to get certain supplies that you cater to them, that you would allow to create a business, knowing these undocumented workers. So what are you doing to help the people instead of working against ICE, help them to benefit themselves and to be sustained in this society? So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. What is your opinion? Leave a comment below.
How is business?
¿Cómo ha estado el negocio estos días? Very bad.
Very bad.
Because the reality is that folks are scared of coming in, that folks are scared of being taken. So some folks that are coming, that the business owner is doing what they can to protect them.
What is the overall impact on the economy here?
It's very obvious that our sales tax numbers are going to be a lot lower than they were, which means it's going to be less money to provide services for our community.
According to the latest CBS News poll, fewer people overall approve of the Trump administration's deportation program compared to earlier this year. But approval among Republicans continues to remain high. Many of them say immigrants who've entered the country illegally should be deported. Sanabria disagrees.
When we look at a lot of different sectors of our economy, the reason we are able to keep it at a lower rate is because of undocumented workers. I think the community is saying that we are behind them, and that's making them feel safer.
A community trying to overcome the fear. Adam Yamaguchi, CBS News, Huntington Park, California.
See, what I'm thinking is in this video, what you just heard, the people are living off of these undocumented people. It's causing their business to fluctuate and lose revenue. And they're basically trying to support you people, but for their business sakes. And like this guy, the councilman that was there, he was more interested in the revenue of the tax dollars, sales dollars, and they said they're going to be lower. So it's all about, it wasn't about really, what I'm getting from this message is that it wasn't about the people in general. It was about the dollar. We're a capitalist nation. It was about them getting revenue. Is it about helping people? Because you should be more helping them become citizens or find a way to become citizens versus revenue streams. And that's what the kind of message was coming across in this CBS Evening News documentary. It was like they was coming across as far as it's about the money. You are a product. You're not an American citizen. We can benefit off of. We're going to help you, but because we can benefit off of you, not we can help you for your benefit for equal outcome. It seems to come across as though all this pushback against ICE and everything was more for the benefits of the businesses and the city itself. That's what the message just seems to come across in this 2.5 minute clip. What is your opinion? Leave a comment below. I'm not saying that's the case, but the stats, the statements that was made, it all indicating that. I haven't heard anything about non-profit services being set up to help these communities. Since we lost these numbers, the city council has come together and doing certain things to help people get support if they got to go back to their countries and be able to come back to the United States legally. Is there any organizations that's been set up in these central countries, as he said earlier, that look like him? In Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica? Are you doing some alliances with these? I didn't hear anything of that nature. I just heard about the business model. So I think it's more focused on business instead of the immigration, instead of what's going on with the immigration. What is your opinion? That's just my view. Tell me your view on this. I'd like to hear it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. It's amazing what's going on right now.